So let's talk about a pickup stick. There are some interesting characteristics about them that I think each weaver should be aware of. First of all, you'll notice that your pickup stick that came with your loom is slightly wider than your weaving width. This is really important because when picking up threads on our loom, we want to make sure that it's long enough that the threads will not fall off the side and we have to pick them back up to continue the weaving process. One of the characteristics of a pickup stick is that it has a beveled edge at one end, possibly at two depending on the manufacturer. This unique characteristics allows us to pick up threads and those that we're bypassing slide underneath. This is something that is often misunderstood in the use of these, that we assume that the tapered edge should be facing up to the weaver, but rather we want to use it facing down. And with something like the Kromsky pickup that I have in front of me, you can tell because of where the logo is located. It's an easy identifying way to remember this should be facing up. Another thing to keep in mind when you're looking at your pickup stick, most weavers will make the assumption that it might be easier to use something like a long knitting needle or dowel rod to do the pickup process because it's easier in your hand. However, the stick is designed that it has a certain width to it, so when turned up one end, it creates a large enough shed for your shuttle to pass through. If we are using something that is narrower, what you'll find is that your threads that are wrapped around your shuttle will actually abrade along the threads that are under tension. And many times over, this might create some tension issues or even snagging. So we want to avoid that. Make sure that that pickup stick is somewhere between 1.5 inches and 2 inches in width. With any application where we're doing pickup work in a rigid heddle reed, there are two things I really want you to keep in mind. One, we will only be picking up threads that are located in the slots. If you can imagine the threads that are located in the holes, these are our threads that are actually moving during the weaving process. So if our pickup stick were located under those threads, they would immediately feel resistance of the holes, not allowing them to move from their position. However, the threads that are in the slots have free ability to move all the way from the top to the bottom of the reed, even in the neutral position. The second thing that we need to keep in mind is so that we don't have to pick up our threads each pick we need them, we will be picking them up behind the reed so that the heddle can be put in place, the stick pushed to the back, and you can continue weaving without having to remove it and reset each time you need that combination. As long as you can remember those two really important skills when using a pickup stick, you're going to have a lot of fun and it will be very easy.